Welcome to a live stream. That in the background. Which you probably can't hear because of noise cancellation. Is my tap going all by itself? But I'll cancel the noise because it's annoying enough for me, and my neighbours have reported me. So no one gives a monkeys. I've called the police because finally I've got evidence that my housing officer is discriminating against me. And yet, 4 hours later, they still haven't turned up. They said they'd be around in an hour, but they always say that, and then they say, oh, well, things were busy. Well, don't say an hour then, if things are going to get busy all the time. I'm fed up of these people. I've got complaints in against the police. And, well, I need to put, hold on, I need to go to weird letterbox mode because I'm on POF as well. And is that up there? It is up there, right. Let's go over to where POF is. There. I'll put POF over there. And then we can keep an eye on everyone. So far I've been streaming for 1 minute and 35 seconds. That really is annoying. And yet I turn it off, it comes back on. All you've got to do is flush the toilet, run a tap somewhere, someone else turns a washing machine on, it goes off. I'm just fed up of resetting it all the time. I'll turn the denoise off so you might have a chance to hear it. Yeah, that faint hum in the background. And that's in the bathroom with the door closed. All the time. It's been like that for 15 months. Up until a few weeks ago, I was turning the tap off, the feed supply to the tap. You know, the stopcock underneath the tap. But that's caused me thumb to hurt because it's quite a stiff stopcock, because they always are. So, I just don't do it anymore because it's hurting me thumbs. What's the point in doing it? All I'm doing it is to protect my neighbours. But that's the reason I say that the council's discriminating, because I saw her outside my door on a phone call to my housing officer, and she just said, oh, this is outside, blah, blah, blah. And my housing officer clearly stated on the phone, oh, don't worry, I'll send him a letter. Totally against my reasonable adjustments, which he admits he's aware of. So if he sends me a letter, he's in breach of the reasonable adjustments. Unless they can demonstrate why housing are exempt from applying reasonable adjustments when the legal team have accepted them. And then they change their mind to say, oh, they only accept them for social services. Not sure they can do that. But the quest goes on. I will not back down unless someone can demonstrate how I am wrong. Now, that's my neighbour trying to... I'm just sick of turning the tap off again, because it comes back on 10, 15 minutes later. To me, it's better for me to leave it running than for it to keep coming on and off every 10 minutes because someone's flushed the toilet or washed their hands in the block. And I reported this... Well, it started February last year, but, I was under a single point of contact and I knew the council wouldn't talk to me. So I reported it straight after I had the single point of contact removed. And... well, what can I say? It took them 2 months to actually admit that I reported it. And I had to give them a phone recording of the call I had. I mean, otherwise they would have said, oh, you'll have to log it again, Mr. Gibbons. No, I only do things once. That's why I record things. And the council now will not talk to me because I record their calls. And the only reason I can see is because they absolutely lie when they're on the phone to you. Because if they don't lie and everything they say is verbatim and you can take it for granted, why are they so scared of being recorded? We have to be recorded when we call them. So why can't we record the call? I mean, we haven't got a choice. If we want to talk to them, there's no... Some public services do allow you to have your recording cancelled. The council doesn't. Calls will be recorded or may be recorded for security and training purposes. Well, I'm recording calls for security and health purposes because I have caught the council lying on so many occasions. It's just unbelievable. People just don't believe how many times I say the council have lied. They lie on paper because they've actually demonstrated. This is Waltham Forest Council, by the way. They lie on paper because they actually put stuff on paper on the assumption that it might go to court or to one of the ombudsmans or even the MP. So they put it down and they restrict what they put down on paper. No, that's not the police. They restrict what they're putting down on paper to their version of the truth. So it makes them look like they're doing everything they're supposed to. And yet they're not doing anything they put down on paper. I've even had that confirmed verbally, which I've got phone recordings of, and which the person I was recording was aware I was recording. So, I need to move the camera the other way. See, that's better. That's better. Sort of. I don't know. I don't know. How long am I going to be waiting for the police again tonight? The last time it took them about 6.5 hours to get here. I don't know how long it's going to take this time. I called the police, a long time ago, and they never turned up. And that was criminal damage to a car, I think. Oh yes, we take this really seriously, they said. 16 years later, I'm still waiting. Hello. And because I'm autistic, they need special treatment. And I'm going to demand, if this is supposed to be an interview tonight, I'm going to demand that there's an appropriate adult, I think they call it. Have you tried looking up on the police website about what rights autistic people have got? It's very difficult to find. I had to Google it a few times before I found something from the Met. And it's basically if you're being interviewed and you've got a learning disability, which I have. I know I'm a genius. I'm classed as a genius. But that does not mean I've not got a learning difficulty. I mean, technically, I've got 3 hours to complete 26 questions from some online course I'm supposed to be doing, or they're going to charge me £125. But I've sent a text message to the woman that's in charge, and I've not had a response back. So much for support services. I've said to them, I'm under... this is stress. Being blanket banned by the council is stress, when all you need to do is talk to people in a reasonable, calm, friendly manner. I've got a recording here of my housing officer talking to me like a piece of shit, and yet talking to my neighbour as though he's making love to her. Difference. Why? I bet you never asked my neighbour if she was recording the conversation. Oh no, they're only asking me. And then he goes ahead and lies and says, we don't record our conversations. Really? It's funny how he picked the phone up this afternoon after she called. And yet I've been calling and left him voicemails and he didn't pick up once. Or return my calls. And when he does answer my phone, accidentally, it is literally just to tell me to go away, Mr. Gibbons, I'm not talking to you. A lot of the time, it is literally go away, Mr. Gibbons, and then hangs up. Apparently, he's been told off. I don't trust a word that Sharon says. His manager. Apparently, he has been told about that. Has he? I want to see it written up on his personnel file. I want to see a copy. Oh no, it's private. It's data protection. So who confirms that action has been taken then? Have we just got civil servants' word for it, or can we actually request copies of information that they say they've issued? Because if people say they've taken disciplinary action and they haven't, surely that's a criminal matter as well, because it's breach of data protection, breach of freedom of information, because they're giving you information freely under the Freedom of Information Act, because they wouldn't be giving it to you otherwise. And if they are giving you verbal information, that in law is as much as written the word or recorded word. So if they're saying they've done something, it's falsifying data. It's a criminal matter. And yet every time I call the police, oh, it's a civil matter between you and the council. That's why they're coming round tonight, to try and explain why it's a civil matter and why it isn't a criminal matter. The bloke that took, I must admit, the copper that took the call tonight was very nice and very reasonable, because I'm sick of calling 101 and getting some snotty-nosed copper on the line saying, oh, well, it's only about phone calls, we're probably not getting investigated. Literally, I've got a phone recording of that of about a week ago, of a copper telling me exactly that. How is it discrimination, he said. Oh, no, the second one said, how is it discrimination? Didn't know how calling on a private number is discrimination. Sorry, you shouldn't be picking the phone up if you're a copper and you don't know about discrimination. I thought they were all supposed to be trained in autism awareness now, according to their website. Oh, we're autism trained, we're autism aware. Are you? Because most of the coppers I come across that I speak to on 101 don't give a monkeys about mental health. Don't give a monkeys about autism. They literally talk to you like you're an idiot. A 3-year child would get better respect out of the police than I do. And where are we now? 4.5 hours, is that? 4:30, 5:30, 8:30. We'll say 3.5 hours, because they said it was going to be an hour. So it's 3.5 hours over. And the police do this to me all the time. They say it's going to be an hour, and then they get in and say, oh, we had lots of calls. Well, don't say it's going to be an hour then. I'm a reasonable person, but don't placate me by lying. If you say an hour, it should be an hour. I'm sorry, if you make an appointment, I know you're the police, but if you make an appointment, especially with someone with autism, you keep that appointment. Send someone else to the next crime. You can't solve crime without being responsible in society. And if you're telling people one thing and doing something else, that is pushing people away from calling the police. Hence why we've got a lot more drug and knife crime. Because no one's calling the police, because they never seem to do anything. Or they don't seem to take it seriously. Someone actually tell me if they feel like the police take their call seriously. Still waiting, still waiting. So far there's no one on anywhere. But I'll stay here until the police ring the bell. I could be here for hours though. It looks like I'm recording this as well. So I might stop recording. Yeah, because I don't need the recording. It's going up to YouTube, Facebook, and, well, YouTube and Facebook. They'll keep copies of it. I can sort that out later. I don't need to fill up my hard drive as well. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. Yes, that noise is still going. Shall I put noise cancellation on? Anytime today, people. Me. Try living with that for 16 months. And after which time, you end up with bad thumbs because you have to keep turning the tap off. The stopcock. You can't just turn the cold tap off. You have to turn the stopcock. So I've stopped doing it now. And it's causing aggravation for my neighbours. Sorry, neighbours. Not my fault. Let the council take responsibility for a change. I'm sitting here. I'm not doing this on purpose. Trust me, I don't like that noise any more than you. I'm autism. I don't like these noises. But I don't like the whistling and the dripping noise more. So for me, it's better to leave it like that than it is to cancel it so it can go back to whistling and dripping. I don't know. There we are. That's my neighbours trying to stop the water. And I've been threatened with another letter from my housing officer, although he doesn't know I know this yet. But he will tomorrow, because I sent a complaint email to my solicitor and my MP, who's a piece of fucking piss as well. He won't talk to me at all, my MP, Ian Duncan Smith. He's more discriminatory than the council. At least the council threatened me. He won't even communicate with me. I've only been asking to have an online surgery with him for 18 months now. Won't do it. Won't even talk to me to tell me why he won't do it. And his office don't listen to a bloody word I say. Because they say, well, can't you... this is what got me angry last time I spoke with them. Oh, can't you write to them? I'm housebound. I'm afraid of going out because my neighbours and my council. And she said, knowing I'm housebound, or at least she should have known I'm housebound, and can't you write to them? And I said, you haven't listened to a fucking word I said, and put the phone down. Oh yes, I swore. I'm not proud of it. But after 2 months of being ignored and then getting through to someone eventually for them to talk to you like they've not read your case file, which they kept assuring me they had, got this recorded as well. This is why I record everything. It's all down there somewhere. It's just a matter of tracking down which day that I called them and what the recording is. It's all saved to the cloud. They could blow this place up and it's all saved to the cloud. The best £70 you can spend is pay for the Microsoft license and you get free 1 gig storage or free 1 terabyte storage on OneDrive. Best thing you can do. I'm going to turn that noise off in the background because it's bad enough coming through my ear. Never mind my ear and my headset as well. I'm getting like a delayed stereo effect. Now it's just coming through one ear and you can't hear it. There we are. Such is life. I won't do the music bit. I normally do sort of like a Radio 2 DJ bit on Puff. But hello, Jan. How are you, my dear? But this is my waiting around for people to ring the bell. Where are you from, Jan? See, I do like a girl that knows how to dress. No, I don't mean your first photograph. I mean the colour, the matching clothes. I don't mean the exposed pieces of skin. How are you anyway, Jen? I'm just here passing the time, waiting for the police to call. Shall I put the clock up? Hold on, I'll put the clock up. That's currently the time, 9 o'clock. I've been waiting since technically 5:30. I've not been on here since 5:30. I've been on here for 20 minutes. So how are you, Jen? What are you here for, my dear? Anything? Talk? Conversation? I can dabble in French. Don't do Esperanto. I know a little bit of German. A little bit of Portuguese. But apart from that, not a lot. Shall I show you, Jen, what I'm putting up with at the moment? Hold on. That's a 40 tap that the council have refused to repair since May last year. They didn't even admit it existed for 2.5 months. Waltham Forest Council, lovely people. Oh, I don't know. Ooh, GPU's topping out. The CPU's fine, but the GPU's hitting. It's probably because I'm on 3 streams at the same time. So it's coping though. It is coping. Oh, it's only just coping. See, what am we on? Hold on. Let me go. Yeah, it's gone now. See? I'm sitting down. It's gone by itself. Ta-da! Proves it's not me. Right. Have we got video format? There we go. See? Definitely not me then, boys and girls, is it? Jen, talk to me, darling. I'm going to go device default because it's on 60 frames and it's better on 60 frames. There we are. Any more at home like you, Jen? I'm on Facebook and YouTube as well if you want to catch me on one of those. Facebook and YouTube is, I think I've taken the widgets off, but bit of Gibbons, .me, /Facebook, /YouTube, whatever you want. And they should be forwards on for most social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. They should be. I haven't been well enough to actually keep up to date with the videos and me YouTube and the website. I bought the website basically to try and keep myself busy, but with the noise in the background. See, they've done something to turn it off. And yet when I reset that tap, it will stay quiet for about... Yeah, I'll reset the tap to its normal position because that's in the quiet position. Hold on. Right, that's in what I call the normal position. Because I have to put a sponge against it to stop it turning on fully. Because I wake up at night and the sink's overflowing. Because something's fallen into the sink, the plug or whatever. And the tap turns on. And it just goes haywire, basically. Jen, I'm upset you're not talking to me, sweetie. I'm from London. Where are you? Is anyone out there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Hello? I turned the noise cancelling on because that cancels all the wind noise as well. You hear that? That's wind. Wind going across the mic. And it cancels all that, and it sounds a lot better with the noise cancelling on. Although I do find, unless you speak up, it does clip the voice a bit. If you speak too quiet, it clips it. Because that's what the noise cancellation does. It actually limits the noise. So you have to speak at a loud, monotonal voice. Otherwise, it starts clipping it, and it makes it go all weird. Oh, I can make it go all weird. Hold on a moment.
There we are. Let's go all weird. Oh, hold on. Turn the echo off. There we are. Now I sound like a naughty school teacher.
I'm not too sure what this one sounds like though. I know, but I don't know if it resembles anyone. Or...
You can go into the baby talk. That's my favourite one on this box, the baby one. Baby, baby. The other one is a
voice, and I'm not too sure if this is for any use. It might be good for voiceovers, but I don't think it's it's any use for anything else. It sounds like Barry White with a cold. Well, Barry White when he was alive.
There we are. Evidence if it were needed. I'm sitting down here and the tap's gone off. I mean, someone tell me I'm making this shit up. May last year I reported this and they still won't talk to me about compensation. And without compensation, I can't get them to repair it because there's nothing to compensate me for. That's what the council's trying to do. I know their technique. It's like, well, let's rush people out. They've got a surveyor coming tomorrow. I called the surveyor. I had to put a complaint into the manager who won't talk to me because I'm recording him. And he won't respond to my emails despite the fact that he said on the recording, I prefer to talk to you by email. So basically, to your reasonable adjustments, Mr. Gibbons, I do what I want. No, that's not how the law says, my darling. So Philip Charlton's on the list as well. I believe it's disability discrimination and racism. Because most of the people in the council that have got a problem with me are Afro-Caribbean. Or is it all of them? No, I would say most, because I don't know what ethnicity a lot of them are, because they're just names on pieces of paper. But the ones that are just following orders are Afro-Caribbean. The ones that talk to me are generally the white people. I know, because you can look these people up. I know why, if they're white or if they're Afro-Caribbean. So, this is why the police are coming round. Because my surveyor is white and he called me and spoke to me and he's ignoring the orders from high command in Berlin. And all he's going to do is witness this. They've got a sound recording of this already, several times. You're witnessing this. I was sitting here when it went off. Do you remember that? I'm going to leave that going there. I'll wait for the police to come round. They can hear what I have to go through. 16 months, May last year, and it took 6 months before I went through complaint stage 2, and it's up with the housing ombudsman there, who I've got until tomorrow to call me back, apparently. So apparently the person that calls me from the housing ombudsman, and I know this is a lie, will be able to answer all my questions. But I ask you, how can the person that refuses your reasonable adjustments explain why they're refusing your reasonable adjustments when they've already said it's because I put it in writing because they told me to put it in writing? That's why I've gone off the putting it in writing phrase to putting it in a phone call and backing it up in writing. That's why an awful lot of solicitors and that are off the list, because I was going through them today. Another bunch of solicitors. And so many say they're discrimination or disability rights lawyers, and yet they haven't got a phone number and they've only got online communications. Well, how's that disability? Lawyers. And some of them have been calling me on private numbers, I found out. And they're supposed to be discrimination lawyers. Sorry, I don't want to work with idiots that don't know what discrimination is. And yes, I don't care how many years of training they've had. If they're using a private number and calling themselves disability friendly, then they should not be calling them disability friendly. They're idiots. And I can go through the list. I will go through the list and name and shame these people. When I've made sense of this paper scribble down here. I mean, one of them was claiming to be the 3rd best in the country or something, and they didn't have no telephone numbers. They had a DX code, but they didn't have no telephone numbers, and it was all online forms. But there we are. Let's just wait and see. I'm still waiting for the police. Still waiting. Waiting, waiting, waiting. streaming out to quite a few areas. I think this is coping quite well, this PC. Let me have a look at the stats. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, has she blocked me now? No. Okay, no, she hasn't blocked me. Let me have a look at the stats. Hold on a moment. What does Task Manager say it's doing? Performance. CPU 52%. Memory is, if I can work out, memory is 48%. 0 on the disk because it's all in memory. Ethernet is 8 meg send, and the GPU is hovering just at 94%. Remember, the GPU on this is in the CPU, it's on the same die. So, yeah, it's hovering around 54 degrees at 94%, that's fine. That'll tax it. But at least it's using a GPU. On my old PC, the GPU was like an Intel chip on the motherboard, and it coped just with a live stream at 720p. But this is 1080 in full HD at 60 frames a second, and it's, you know, it's maxing out on 3 streams, but then you'd expect it to max out on 3 streams. And to think, all my housing officer wants to do is send me a threatening letter, which he knows I won't be able to read because he won't call me before he sends the letter. And I recorded a conversation with him this afternoon after I found out that he's taken this call outside my door, where he wouldn't even admit he needed to talk to me about anything. And then I confirmed he does know what my reasonable adjustments are. So, sorry, Derek McLean, Waltham Forest Council, but you shouldn't admit things when I'm recording you. Did your mother not teach you to talk to strangers, Mr. McLean? Now my solicitor has heard you say that you know what the reasonable adjustments are and you're refusing to comply with them. And you won't answer my questions as well. How can I help you, Mr. Gibbons? Oh, by answering a question. And I give you the question. And he said, well, how can I help you, Mr. Gibbons? Don't just, when someone's autistic, don't just blank them. If they ask you a question, you have to at least respond to the question, even if it's, I'm not going to answer that question, Mr. Gibbons. Do you really need me to teach you, Mr. McLean? Because apparently last year, there was all these courses that the council was running for, or externally were running for the council. And surely you would have gone on that. Because of all the people in the council, you need autism training. Oh no, Afro-Caribbean men don't see autism as a thing, do you? Generally. You think we're all mad. Generally. Going by my personal experience of Afro-Caribbean men when I've told them I'm autistic, their first reaction is, no you're not, that don't exist. Be like, not Asperger's, what's the asthma, back in the 80s. I remember a lot of kids had asthma, and their doctors said, no, you're making it up. There we are, let me neighbour turn the tap off. I'm fed up of doing it. Why should I have to keep turning the tap off for my neighbour's benefit? Because it's not helping me. I'm just going backwards and forwards every 10 minutes turning the tap off. You get used to it after a while. I don't know. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. At least I've worked out what's going on with this camera now. It needs light in the back, like the video lights here, and light in the front. You need it well lit, basically. I don't know. Just looking at the stats. No viewers, no likes, no chat. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. I'd normally be playing music in the background, but Facebook and YouTube are a bit funny about that, so I won't be playing any music. I suppose I could download quite a few YouTube library, because that's all PD, well, free to use. And that shouldn't come up with copyright strikes, but have you heard some of the stuff on there? Oh my god, if you don't pick the right one, ooh, your brain melts. La da 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 da, dee da 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 da, dun dun da da da, dee da 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 da, dee 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 dee. I keep missing James. He's been on since I've re-favorited him, because I don't know, I went through and deleted a whole bunch of people off my channel. He's been on quite a few times under he always does this under various different names. You can change your display name on Puff, and it's all a bit. Can anyone hear that? Is that loud enough? Don't forget, this is cancelling the noise. This and this make it go totally silent. I'm going to put the external noise cancellation on, and then you get peace and quiet. So only I can hear the noise. I'm going to turn the loop back off, so it's just my voice, so then I can get all these noises on here, and you won't hear them. Anyway, I put a face mask on this afternoon because, hey, it's been sitting on the shelf for months now. I thought might as well. Now I'm sort of like shaving the beard off. So I don't know. Such is life. What should we talk about now then? Nothing? Nope, still no police. Hold on, let's have a nosy out the window. Da 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 da, dee da 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 da. Oh, I'm glad you can't hear that buzzing anymore. Good grief. %2 frame drop. Ooh. I wonder what's causing that then. Let me have a look at something. Hold on a moment. Because I reckon if I go down here, color range is partial. Right. That's only dropped it down a little. If I go full, yeah, I'll go full. Color space, I'm going to go 709. Device default, right, custom. H264. Now, is there a lag? There is. Hold on. If I do any, do that, and then go over here. La da 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 da, dee 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 dee. It's still, yeah, 88%. That's fine. And 2% drop frames is okay because it's not increasing, so that's fine. This is the fine resolution. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Da 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 da. Let's have a look over here, see if there's anyone there. Only Jen. I'm going to end the stream over there and see if it makes much of a difference. Hold on, we're on 85%. Ending stream now. And it's gone to 82%. So it doesn't make much of a difference. Oh look, one of my Let's see. Will they know? I don't know how to spell it. How do you spell ni hao in simple Chinese? Well, what do they call it? Pigeon? Pigling? I don't know. I used to know this because I had to set it up for Windows 7 for a Chinese person where I worked. She had Chinese translation on. And it was like Pippin or something. I don't know. Da 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 dee da 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 dee 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 dee. Right, I'm going to stop the stream. That's enough. At least I've proved that I'm not turning the tap on to make this noise. Thank you very much.